steroid shot up. You're going to get a muscle retention growth factor with that. So you kind of can get hormone replacement therapy by the foods that you eat, because if they put it in the foods, it goes into your body digests it, you get the benefits of that. That's a cheap way of holding on to your youthfulness, doing hormone replacement therapies. And I put my clients, especially my older clients that have certain illnesses or degenerative situations going on those type of meal plans, because we take advantage of what the farmer is putting in the food. Now for younger people, you already have an abundance amount of that, especially up until about like 25 to 20, to some people up to 35. You are in a growth state. The problem here in the United States is that high fructose corn syrup, anorexia inside of people who are actually obese, there are problems that is directly related to the way that our food is manufactured, the way that the food is put out there, that younger people, if not put on a certain regimen, are starting to grow much wider, a lot faster than their natural growth rate. You're supposed to grow as a young person. You can go through chubby stages and get skinny and stuff, but that's not the pattern that we have we've fallen into in our current situation. And that is because, and this is because, we have never been here before. So we will feel the repercussions. It's just like when you're going back and you're looking at a presidency, or you're looking at a time in history. You can always look objectively at the repercussions of what happened. It's very hard to be insightful enough to see while you're in that process, the forest before the trees. And that's the problem that we're having here in the United States. Now in other countries, they don't even sell or allow foods that we eat here in the United States in their country. In Europe, you can't eat like that. It is against the law to put high fructose corn syrup and all kinds of different things inside these particular things. I have a two-part reason and a two-part answer to that, and it's very sad. I feel this way. For one, I think a lot of that is greed motivated in the United States, that people are so greedy that we are the big experimental melting pot of the global universe, and people really do have it in for us because they think that we are so privileged and that we are so better off and that our quality of life is so much better that they like to see us suffering. Japan, I mean, think about it, the people that we've been to war with and things that we've done, we get a lot of different products and stuff from these companies. These companies may be our ally on paper, but in reality, they would love to see civil war and us crumble and stuff like that. But we also contribute to that because of the different ethnicities and racial tensions and misinformation and exploitation of different sectors in society. So when for the oppressor, no matter in what situation, we just won't even say racial, to oppress someone, you have to hold them down. So you have to be, to some degree, aware of holding them down, so you feel that same pressure by keeping them down. So you get that same sickness. It trickles through, like with drugs. Drugs trickle through the inner cities. When Noriega and when the government did that to break up the Black Panthers and to break up other groups, drugs trickled into the ghettos, and yeah, there was a big fallout, and then there was a war on drugs, and now it's trickling out to, you know, the suburbs, to farmlands, meth and everything, and now they want to ease up on drugs. But that's what happens. You have those repercussions. Same way with foods. So we have a poor quality of food being given to certain sectors of society through WIC programs and all the other things. So they're teaching people not from a healthy standpoint, but from a economical, agricultural standpoint, to eat more grains, eat this and this, knowing that these things are processed and stripped of its macro and micronutrition, and they aren't even grown in good soil. So we have the repercussions of people being obese early in life and being fat and being anorexic inside their body. That's what's going on. It's crazy, but that's the epidemic that we're dealing with. And that's diabetes, that's heart congestive heart failure. Almost every disease that people die from here in the United States, it can be directly linked to, in most cases, their health. The way that they take care of their health, from AIDS to, if you want to believe that that's not a man-made one, but it's directly health related, to diabetes, heart attack, high blood pressure, and that's some of the #1 killers, and it's directly related to how you eat and the foods that you take in. Your body is becoming what it is that you take in. Whatever you eat is what you are becoming. So you have to understand the hormones and the different things. Now you can benefit from them hormones and stuff later on in life, and not have to do hormone therapy. I recommend guys, when your testosterone get low and you're in your 40s and 50s, eat these things or do some kind of hormone prostate care for your body, or you will get prostate deficient, testosterone deficient, and you will have some bone density and some other problems. Same thing for women. But when you're younger and you're eating the same food supply that the older people are eating, the same growth hormone eggs, it doesn't react the same way inside the young body as it does inside the old body. So food should be separate by age group. And as you can see, like people I went to high school with, and not knocking them, but people I went to high school with, I'm 44 years old. If I look at majority of my class, they're obese, overweight, and there's a direct relation to how they ate and what they did in their 20s and the misinformation they had going into that and how they didn't take care of themselves from an eating standpoint. Minus the exercise. Exercising is something totally different. It is tied in, but it's totally something different. We're just talking about what you are becoming, because this is what you're putting into your body. So in Europe, that's not really a big problem. Kids, they don't have all these things that are banned in the United States in their food system. And then, so they don't eat that particular way. So grown-ups and kids eating the same thing is kind of okay, because you don't have these growth hormones, steroids, and a lot of different things, and processed stuff, high fructose corn syrup, so you don't get that big effect. So you get the more pure nature of the macro nutrition of the food. In the United States, that is different. So we have a different system because we have a different way that we process, or that how we bring food to families. So they don't have that problem in Europe and some other countries outside of that. Or if you look in other Africa or other countries, people aren't getting all fat when they get older, or as they age, when they're coming from 20 to 30 to 40 to 50. People aren't getting obese, overweight, or things like that, because they pretty much eat the same food. I know it's some malnourishment or some other issues that may go along or go on with that. And if it's hormone or other issues that go on, then yeah, you'll have some sicknesses and weight gain and different stuff like that. But for the most part, the macro and the micronutrition of their food is pretty much stayed almost the same quality, because it was grown in a decent type of environment. Here in the United States, that's not true. So we need to become more conscious about the way that our foods are grown over the years, the things that we put into our foods, because every year or every genetic spice or every change in the way that we produce our food is a different change into the type of reaction or the type of human being that we're going to produce 10, 15, 20 years down the line. You have to have foresight to understand that this is a condition, and most of the illnesses and sicknesses are directly related to that. I mean, it's the research, the science, all the information is out there. You don't have to trust my word for it. I'm just a person that looks and follow all the information, and very tedious at my profession about what I do, and looking at the signs and the symptoms. It's just like prophesizing, but you can prophesize when you can just look straight ahead and see the direct correlation to what's going on. So I hope this information helps. Take a look at this documentary that I'm going to link down here so you can get a better understanding of how to, because eating healthy shouldn't really be that expensive. Just don't get bamboozled with all these quack nutritionists, trainers, and all this other stuff to tell you got to do this and all these other different things. It is very simple.